Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How are we doing on this horrendously grey, windy, and rainy morning? Morning, Jamie. How are you? What blue do I want? Right, okay, so yesterday, is it Friday the 13th? Oh my god, yes it is. Oh, crikey, yes, happy Friday the 13th. Cool. Yes, so yesterday on my YouTube videos, because I import all my VODs over to YouTube, I had a comment from somebody who would like me to describe which colours I'm using as I'm using them. So I'm going to try and remember to say which colour I'm using and when. I might forget on occasion, but I'm going to try my hardest. So I'm going to start off with phthalo blue, and I'm using Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. Right, so I'm just going to go in with a light layer here because we've got quite a few feathers. So what's the weather like where you are, Jamie? Have you got the same as me? Because it's really like horrendous outside. I very much doubt I'm going to be going for a dog walk today. Cold and rainy, yeah. Yeah, it's horrendous. Morning, Hayley. How are you? Right, okay, now, how did I want to do these? Going down here, and then I can add in the sort of shade later, can't I? Yeah, happy Friday the 13th. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Hayley. I did wonder how I was going to be this morning, actually, because last night, as I was sort of laying in bed trying to go to sleep, I could feel the beginnings of like a sore throat, and I could just feel it right on the back of my throat, like this sort of dry, tickly, sore area, and I just thought, oh god, I bet I'm going to wake up tomorrow with like a horrendous cold or something, but I'm not doing too badly, so I'm going to go with it and hope this means that I'm going to be okay. Did I want... yeah, I want that dark indigo out, so let me just have that out. I think for now I'm going to go with the Helio Blue Reddish. I tried to do the you feel like you're in a retro video game. This music is a playlist that I have on Spotify. It's the Fat Rat, and all his music is copyright free. So I'm hoping that I don't get any sort of copyright strikes. Shouldn't do, because it's all copyright free. But I really like their stuff. What was I going to say? I don't know. I can't remember. Morning, Faisal. How are you? Oh yes. Yesterday, I tried to do the ghost pepper, and I tried so many iterations of trying to draw that ghost pepper. I really did, and I couldn't quite get it right. And I was doing like hang on, let me get a piece of paper and then I can show you what I was going for. So you know, with like the pepper shape, and you know, like that little bit there, and I had this pepper shape, and I was like, right, okay, how am I gonna turn this into a ghost? And I was trying to do like wiggly bits here, and you know, sort of trying to make this a ghost with like eyes here, and it just never looked quite right. It didn't look like it was meant to be a pepper. And so I just did the normal pepper and posted that, and I was like really disappointed because I had to do a normal pepper. And then I saw someone else had drawn a ghost pepper, but what they'd done is they'd got like the basic shape of the pepper, but this cap bit up here was the bit that they made the ghost. And they did it better than this, obviously. So like, ooh. And they just did this bit so much better. I think it was longer actually, like with arms, and they just did it so much better. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't send in my pathetic attempt, because it just wasn't right. It was really weird. Right, dark indigo. And I'm just going to use a warm grey one. Base layer in here, pulling in that blues from either side, and then just throwing the pencils about. Warm grey too. You like the rise one? Yes. I saw the word was rise, and I'd seen a couple of people had obviously done like the sun, and I was like, I'm not doing the sun. I didn't get to do a spooky one yesterday. There must be a way I can do rise. And I just thought of zombies rising up from the grave. So yeah, I quite like that one too. Right, so back to the phthalo blue. So I was this morning. I sort of meant to be writing. I I did my Inktober instead. What is the prompt for tomorrow? Let me just have a look. Anyone who hasn't seen the rise one, here we go. So that was my rise with my ghoulish hand sort of coming up out the soil. And tomorrow's prompt is castle. So that should be good. So I could do like Dracula's castle or something. Right, I'm just going to sharpen this dark indigo because I really need a fine point for this next bit. Yeah, R.I.P. William Smith. I was trying to think of a cool name actually to put on the headstone, and I just couldn't think of who to put on there, so I just made an up a name. Drag down some of that darkness. Now I'm going to go back to the helio blue. Right, and I think I need the cobalt blue. What do you mean? Oh my god, it's a pack opening. What does that mean? Back to the dark indigo. Harry from Sidemen. People use this song when opening packs on FIFA. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I think a lot of this music gets used because it's copyright free, so... That's not bad. James is awake early. Yeah, I'm sure he probably hasn't even gone to sleep. To be honest with you. I haven't seen him this morning, though. Right, now I need a sort of like a cold grey, but which one? Let's go with cold grey 1. Just to blend these two colours, this blue and this grey in together. Okay, right. I'm gonna use the light ultramarine. So has anyone got any good plans for the weekend? Feathers go in which direction, but while I'm getting this base layer down, that's not too bad actually. I'm going to use the cobalt blue. England v Australia today. Oh, is it? Oh God, I'm gonna guess. Cricket? I have no idea what you're talking about. Football? Rugby? When you say England v Australia, to me that just means the Ashes. I have no idea. I mean, technically, I have nothing booked this weekend, which should mean that I have a glorious weekend of doing absolutely nothing. But I know this will not happen because I will choose to fill that time with doing all the stuff that I don't normally get to do. Like deep cleaning my kitchen. I really want to do a deep clean on my kitchen. So I will no doubt be cranking up the music and or listening to a podcast or does anyone listen to any really good podcasts? Because I listened to Help I Sexted My Boss, which I think is hilarious. I love that podcast. And I love that. But it's also like... hang on, what's this? Cobalt Blue Greenish. So I listened to Help I Sexted My Boss. I listened to a couple of writing podcasts. I listened to The Bestseller Experiment. What else? Older and Wider podcast. I quite like. That's funny. But there was some podcast awards just recently, and apparently one called Red Handed won it for the third year in a row. And I'd never heard of Red Handed, so I listened to an episode yesterday, and it was meant to be like true crime. And I just didn't see what... I'm really sorry to anyone who's a fan of it, but I really didn't see what was special about it. They were like talking about this particular episode. The latest episode was about some guy in Japan who was a serial killer, and he got caught through taking his roll of film to like a film developer. And they were like, oh, gory bit coming, don't eat. And they described something, I thought, that's not gory. What are you talking about? That's not gory. Perhaps I've got a low gore threshold. Or a high gore threshold, I should say. Let's do the Prussian Blue. Infinite Monkey Cage, Wolf and Owl, Chatterbix off the menu. Oh right, okay. What are they all about though? Comes the night. Jason from Friday the 13th. Morning, Artsman. Hang on. Where's my pencil? Where did I put it? I put it down a minute ago. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I couldn't find it. Right, okay, so Jason. We'll do him here. Right, sorry, hockey mask, right? So don't let me fall where I don't belong. I can't do all those little holes that are on a hockey mask, but this will have to do. It almost looks like he's spotty. He wears like
far from any danger, safe from any failure. Guarded, I found shelter in the storm. I'm hiding in the blue, safe between the clouds. In the blue, I can't be found. Was a soldier in the legions, fought against the demons, fought against the monsters made of gold. But they stormed across our gates.
It's probably wrong, but oh, what does it, what, oh, what, sorry, my brain is like stumbling. What's he holding? He's got to be holding something, right? Oh, that's too many fingers. I've just suddenly gave him an extra finger there. Or it holds like like a knife sort of thing, blade. Right, power pose. Give him a power pose like he does in like those in the movies. Hang on. Got to do an added touch here. Got to have some blood, haven't we? It's like a horror thing. And he wears like a dark shirt. Dark clothes. Why do I feel like there's something? Is there something red on the mask? Why is my brain telling me that there's like something red on the mask? Maybe like a streak of blood or something. There we go. A machete. Yes, there we go. A machete. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. That's not too bad. Here we go. It's a very Friday the 13th sketch. Right. Okay, so thanks, Jamie. That's not bad. You can see where my heart lies. Right. What was I doing? Right, okay. Back with Cobalt Blue. What's everyone's favourite sort of like Halloween movie? I mean, do you watch Friday the 13th? Or do you watch Halloween or Scream? What is your favourite? I know Jamie's probably going to say Saw. The Howling. Oh my god, I've not seen that for a long, long time. The Howling. Crikey, it's a blast from the past, that. I like a good old Aliens movie. Aliens or one of the Predator movies. Obviously my favourite. But I'd be up for watching The Thing. I think The Thing with Kurt Russell. That's always a good movie to watch. I'm trying to think of some real old classic horror movies. And I remember there being one when I was a child. Probably should not have been exposed to it. And I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It was called The Stuff. Oh, The Blob. Yeah. There was one called The Stuff. And it absolutely terrified me as a child. I'm sure if I watched it now as an adult, I'd be like, well, why was that scary? I probably wouldn't find it scary at all. Arachnophobia is a good movie to watch. It always just gives me the heebie-jeebies just because I actually do have arachnophobia, but I will watch it. Quite happily, I'll watch it. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was exposed to way too early. Obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street, all of that. Night of the Living Dead, yeah. Yeah, that's all good. Bit of World War Z. I like World War Z. Right, I'm going to go to the Cobalt Blue Greenish. This explains so much. Yeah, I'm afraid it does. You know what, everyone else was reading like Nancy Drew and Enid Blyton. Even though I did read Enid Blyton, I'd moved on at a very early age, sort of like 11, 12 years old. I was reading The Rats by James Herbert, Lair, Domain, Carrie, Christine, Pet Cemetery, all that goodness. All that goodness. Oh, The Stand. It. Yes. Oh, I loved it. Read the book. Didn't really enjoy the movies, to be honest. I felt like the movies were very slow for me. But the book, It. Misery. Love Misery. I'm your #1 fan, Paul. Loved it. Kathy Bates played that role brilliantly. But there's a horror writer called Sean Hudson, and he did a series that was very similar to like James Herbert's Rats, but his was called Slugs. And if you ever get the chance to read that, you should read that. That is so good, because you wouldn't have thought slugs could be that scary, but what Sean Hudson does with them is like chef's kiss if you're a horror reader. What was the vampire movie from King's book? Well, The Stand was vampires, wasn't it? I'm trying to think. So many Stephen King novels. I don't know off the top of my head. You're gonna have to Google it and tell me which one you mean, and then I'll know, because I've read all of Stephen King. Oh, Salem's Lot. Yes. I really liked Salem's Lot. I also liked The Dark Half. That's an underrated story that I think would make a great movie if they made The Dark Half. I don't know if there is one out there, but I've never seen it. Right. Oh, they did a TV movie of that one, did they? Right, okay. Down this way. Tommy Knockers. Yeah, I wasn't. No, I didn't care for that one as much either. A short story called The Finger. I like that one. Oh, what is that? A Stephen King story? I like that. Have you read any of Joe Hill, his son? Joe Hill, his Nosferatu. is amazing. I loved his Nosferatu. I listened to it as an audiobook, and that was really good. I'm just marking in where some of the darker shadows are at the moment. So. It's been ages since you've read horror, so you're not sure. It's not been ages since I've read horror. I think all my horror books are downstairs. Let me just have a look, see if I've got any horror ones up here that I could recommend to you. Yeah, most of them are downstairs. Have I got any over there? What have I got behind me? No, they're all downstairs. I have a special bookshelf. Well, I have 3 bookshelves filled with all my horror. The Raft was good. Okay. Have you seen this is not Stephen King. There is, I think it's on either Netflix or Amazon Prime. I think it might be Netflix. There is a foreign film called The Platform. And it is so good. That's one to catch if you're able to. It doesn't sound familiar. Yeah, it's really good. It's about it's a prison system where the prison rooms are stacked one on top of the other, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of levels. And in the center of the room, this platform will come down like once a day. So the people who are in the top cells, they get all the good food, and they get like 15 minutes to eat. And then the platform moves down to the next room, and then, you know, as it goes further and further down, there's less and less food for people to eat. But sometimes people will they'll pee on the food, or they'll do weird stuff to the food, knowing that the people below them are going to have to eat it. And sometimes some people sort of jump on the platform and go downstairs and attack people in the other rooms and kill them, and it's like they don't get punished for that. It's like part of the survival thing, and it's just, I didn't like how it ended. I thought the ending was very unsatisfying, but the concept for it was amazing, absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was something different, and like I said yesterday, I really do like a prison sort of story. Oh, you saw it, Jamie? Yeah, it's so good. So good. It is a really interesting concept, and it is a really strange concept, to be sure. And it's also a bit of a mystery. And it's yeah, it's just really, really good. Have I seen The Cube? No, I don't think I have. What's that about? Is it a film? Is it a TV series? You're gonna have to give me the deets. Actually, this goes this way, actually, doesn't it? A B movie. Okay. No, I've not. I've definitely not seen that. Don't really get to see many B movies. Right. We have this bit that goes here, and then this bit is here, and that has like a dark shadow here. Okay. So I know where that is. And then just above it there is another dark shadow that just sort of goes here. Okay. Still using the cobalt blue greenish, in case I didn't say earlier. People are trapped in a bunch of cubes that are interconnected and moving and are trapped. They don't know why they're there, and one of them is a killer. Ooh, that does sound good. I will have to look that one up. Not the best acting. Well, you know, it's a B movie, so you kind of expect that, don't you? It does make you wonder how some of these things get made, quite frankly, when you do see the final product and you think someone thought that that was good, that was worth ploughing money into. You think, really? Really? The Human Centipede should never have been made. I never finished that one, really bad. I don't think I've seen The Human Centipede, so I don't have to worry about that. And it sounds like I don't want to see it, considering what you've just said. But, I mean, there's one film that people seem to love, and I have tried watching it multiple times, and I always get so bored by it that I've never made it to the end. And I actually fell asleep to it once because I was just so bored, but people seem to love it, and that's Backdraft. I know it's not a horror movie, but is there any movies that you guys don't really like but everyone else seems to love? Because I find with Backdraft, everyone I've met says, "Oh my god, Backdraft is amazing. Oh, how do you find that boring? Oh, it's the most amazing film." Sorry, nope. Lord of the Rings! Really, Jamie? Oh my gosh. Wow. I was not expecting that as an answer. It's so damn boring. I've tried to watch it like 19 times, but get 10 minutes into it and turn it off. Wow. Well, fair enough. You know, different things for different people. Jack won't like to hear you say that. It's one of his favourite movies. Love The Hobbit though. Yeah, The Hobbit's great. Fu Wang Shu, thank you for the memories. Don't like those type of movies. Or whatever it's called. Yeah, I have no idea what that's called. Never heard of it. I mean, I remember going to the cinema with Nick, and we went and watched Air Force One with Harrison Ford. And we love that movie, absolutely adore that movie, and yet it got slated by the critics. Everyone was like, oh, it's the worst movie, don't watch it, it's ridiculous, it's the worst acting they've seen, it's just a bad movie. And yet Nick and I love Air Force One, and we will watch it over and over and over again. This a cause dressing move, not my thing. Star Wars. Oh, some Star Wars, the newer ones. I'm just like, yeah, I get slightly. I don't hate them, but I'm just sort of like, they drag on a bit. Probably where you think that Lord of the Rings drags on. I think Star Wars does drag on a little bit. The older ones, great. You know, Empire, Return of the Jedi, perfect. Yeah, same Hayley. Right, I need these need to be quite. James Bond is another one you can't get into. What, all of them? Or like the recent ones with Daniel Craig? Or is there a particular Bond that you don't like? I don't mind that I've started you off now. It's good to chat about. Love James Bond, at least the OG one. All of them? See, I like the early Daniel Craig ones. I'm not too fond of anything past Skyfall. Like the Casino Royale that he did, I like that one. I think I liked Pierce Brosnan. Wasn't a great fan of Timothy Dalton's Bond. Loved Sean Connery's Bond, but Roger Moore's were very cheesy. I find the Roger Moore ones are just very, very cheesy. I much prefer Johnny English. If we're going to make a cheesy James Bond kind of movies, I'd much rather watch Johnny English than a Roger Moore James Bond, to be fair. The first Highlander was good. Oh, yes. Yeah, the first Highlander movie with Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery. Awesome. I liked the Highlander TV series. The first one. That was really good. Fast and Furious are also bad if they keep making more. Yeah, I've not really watched any of the Fast and Furious, to be honest. It just bores me. I've not watched them to see if they are bad, but just the idea of it is just like, nope. Have no interest in seeing those movies. Right, so let me just check so this goes this way and then it starts to spread this way. Okay. The fact that up to 10 is shocking. It is shocking. trying to write the Friday the 13th movies. He's up in space now. Yeah. What did you think to the Freddy v Jason movie? Because those ones never made sense to me. Because like Freddy is a supernatural being, right? Who lives in the dream world. Jason is an actual guy who lives in this realm, who doesn't have any magical powers. He has a blade. What did we call it earlier? What blade? A machete. Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, but how does a guy with a machete go up against a supernatural being like Freddy Krueger? Make no sense to me. Harry Potter is awful. It's a hill you're willing to die on. Oh my god. Oh, that's I like the first few Harry Potters, but when we got to like the Deathly Hallows, there was one movie, was it the first Deathly Hallows? I think it was just like so boring. The book was better, but you've never seen a whole Harry Potter movie? Oh, crikey. Yeah, when they do these matchup movies, like Freddy v Jason and like Superman v Batman, I mean, come on. Superman is from Krypton, or wherever it is he's from. Batman is just a guy in a mask. There is no way Batman should be able to fight Superman. It's like, just stop. Kong versus Godzilla was better and it wasn't great. Yeah, but at least with Kong and Godzilla, like, they're both like from this realm, so to speak. They're both massive and both huge animals, and it made more sense as a matchup than some of the other stuff that they're just like, hey, we'll make some money out of this franchise, let's just stick these two together because the fans of both will go to see. You watched the first one with Rebecca and laughed when he said he was an orphan and she's never let me live it down. What? Do you mean the first Harry Potter movie was the first one that you watched with Becca? And you laughed when you found out he was an orphan. Okay. I'm trying to stay aware of which way these feathers are going, because there's a meeting point here. I'll have to shade that in later. Give me a couple of guys in a monster suit smashing up tiny cardboard cities. Yeah, like the original Godzillas. When you can see the zip up the back, yeah? Seven Samurai, I've not seen that. In the first Harry Potter, it was just the way he said it's not that he's an orphan. Right, so I need something slightly darker, so I'm going to go in with the Helio Blue Reddish. I think this might be a little bit the wrong dark, I don't know. Let me just see for a bit. It's not too bad actually. Try and bring this shadow down from under this part of the wing there. I'm just going to go in with that dark indigo.